This episode of The Casual is brought to you in part by Squarespace. For all your website needs, Squarespace delivers it in an all-around package to help you build a beautiful, integrated online presence.
I'm gonna level with you. I've been a part of several fashion projects, and while midway through my career I saw success, it was my initial failures that provided me with the insight on a more effective way to build a fashion business. Today, I'm going to expose a few of my very own business shortcomings so you can better understand how to proceed in whatever endeavors you choose. I'm Reggie Casual, and welcome back to class. It has come back, the casual guide to building a potent, well-branded fashion business. Let's get it. Alright, so first off, we gotta look at the word failure. In business, I typically don't like to use the word. Certainly, when you don't accomplish your goal, one could call that failure. But any ambitious individual looks forward to these obstacles because failure is just a negative word for experience. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into my failures. Back when I was developing my initial project, I had a background in graphic design, which was a plus, but I didn't have a background in fashion at the time. Sure, I liked fashion, I looked at the websites, perhaps I even loved it, but I didn't understand how fashion worked beyond my own experience with it, which was just wearing it and reading a couple of articles. Due to this inexperience, I relied heavily on my skills in graphic design rather than focusing on what I truly wanted to represent via the label. This led to a haphazard direction that really had no point. A fact that I tried to fix later, but by that time it had already grown out of the concept. Point. The best thing you can do before venturing into the world of fashion is to actually know fashion. Study it, read about it, be inspired by it, and even go out of your way to look at things you didn't look at before. That means studying more than the releases from your favorite street or mid-market brands. It means checking out runways and collections from designer and luxury labels. There's no such thing as too much inspiration is what I'm getting at. So get as much as you can wherever you can. The second thing I can remember totally dropping the ball in was doing what I could do instead of doing what I should have done. You may find that confusing, but I know you got it. You're fine. Anyway, so let's get this out of the way. I'm not particularly inspired by streetwear. I find it kind of boring, but that doesn't mean it isn't viable. However, admittedly, I started with the streetwear route when I started. I made some tees, some hats, some hoodies, crews, etc., etc. Why? Because it was relatively easy, and I get the appeal of streetwear because it seems more simple than coming out with some cut and sew label that probably costs way more to do. But as I continued working on the label, I started to feel less confident about the work. I didn't think it was good enough because there was little direction, but most importantly, I didn't attach it to a lifestyle, an aesthetic, an idea. More clearly, I didn't connect it to people. When I finally understood this, I immediately went back to the drawing board, but the time had passed. I grew out of that mindset. Why? Because I focused on trying to release something, to get my ideas out in the world. So I did what I could do. It was a wrong move. What I should have done was focused on who I was providing my label for. What void did I feel? Who did I represent? I never asked those questions, and as a result, again, no direction. Point. Know your why. Seriously, why are you making a label? And once you know the why, you should have a little issue finding out who it's for. Now, since then, I've been consulting for a long time. And whenever I consult new fashion brand runners, they tend to focus on themselves rather than the people they will eventually serve. And that's all ego. So I'm just asking, let it go. The people you serve are just the single most important part of any business, particularly one as fickle as fashion. All right, so we got one more mistake that I made, but before we get into that, let's get into a word from our sponsor, Squarespace. You've probably heard that Squarespace is one of the best places to build a website. If you've been here, I know you have. They have award-winning templates, backend analytics, a host of essential integrations, and phenomenal customer service, right? Well, let's go ahead and add to that. Squarespace now gives you the opportunity to build your own email templates, edit your future website on mobile, and now has a video app so you can make your site even more personal for visitors. And you're gonna wanna use all those because Squarespace's new members areas allow you to create communities, monetize, and give back to your most loyal followers and fans. And that's just the surface. By joining up, you can save 10% off of your website by using our link, squarespace.com/thecasual. So get started on that site and use Squarespace today. And finally, my last mistake. I produced before I had a community. And that's what I did, that's it. Listen, you can have product, but if you have no one to sell to, it means nothing. 100 teas and only 0 customers means nothing. I could have done promo for like 6 to 8 months in my case, but I didn't do it. So I was left with a crap ton of stock and no one to sell to. Point. Production is the easy part. Community building is the important part. Terribly designed labels that have communities can succeed. You know this, you've seen it. So why is it that so many still make this mistake? Now, I don't even know why, but it's okay, I made it too. So now you don't have to. Build a community with intention is the point, and you'll find far more success than if you don't, or become a part of a community. That's way better than just starting cold turkey. Now you may be asking, how can I build a community, Reggie? Well, I can't give all of my secrets away, but we do have a monthly webinar that delves into these topics on brand building via our Patreon. So if you're looking to build a label the right way with my years of failures and subsequent successes, join us there. We also got a private Discord to catalog it all so you can watch some of the past stuff as well. Or you can keep watching these freebies right here on The Casual by doing what you should do. Keeping it locked right here for all of your info in international fashion culture and business. From Tokyo, it's your boy, and keep it casual. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And I'll see you guys in a minute.